A very good morning to my all dear listeners, and I must first thank you all that you are with me for each and every venture which I am really through which I am going through and which I am trying to prepare. I'm Yesterday I told there is a little announcement, and that announcement is after a very long time I got reconnected with my little inning, and I am really grateful to her that though she doesn't understand the most of the contents of my channel, but still she is so much enthusiastic in her mind and so supportive to me that she clicked on several videos, and she was delighted with the content, and she asked me. She actually specifically she went through the life of masters, which the medium of those content is English. So I thought that there are few persons who are not capable to understand the Bengali or Hindi as such. So for them, for that segment of my listeners, I am trying to create a new segment along with the Friday segment, which is the life of masters, the Bengali folk tales in English. I'm not going to translate any other folk tales. I am trying to give you a morsel, a little portion of Bengal, the origin of my existence. And here I found a very rare book. This book was written and first published in 1883. It is so old, and by grace of God and by blessings of my parents, I came to this. I stumbled upon this book, and it was written by Reverend Lal Bihari Dey. So let's start. I will try to read this. Actually, the old folk tales of Bengal are actually very long story. So we will read this in a segment wise manner for subsequent 3 days in a week in a row. That means we will find this content on Sunday, on Monday, and as well as on Tuesday. So my dear friends, please please listen to this segment also, and I'll be eagerly waiting to get your response, how it was and how you feel about this segment. So let's start. The name of the book is Folk Tales of Bengal, illustrated by Warwick Globe. Warwick Gobble. Mm, It was published in Macmillan and Company Limited, London, Bombay, Calcutta, and Melbourne. Here they have their franchises at that time, and the Macmillan Company of Canada Limited, Toronto, and Dallas and Francisco. And it is a huge company, publishing company. So this is the illustration for first by Warwick Gobel, who has depicted the Bengali woman in a very aesthetic manner. So let's start. So here is the Macmillan and Company Limited, St Martin Street, London. This copy was published in 1912, but it was first, the copyright of the first edition, it was first published in the year, I think you can see, 1883. It is more than 100 years, maybe somehow near to 150 years old. This book is actually, to Richard Karnak Temple. He actually inspired the writer to uh, to bring together the folk tales of Bengal, whom which actually he heard mostly from Shambhu's mother, and a reverend lady and a Christian lady. In their very old age, he heard and he records few of them, some of them, and then he has actually collected all those stories into a single book. Now let's start the first story. uh, First story. Acha, before starting to the story, to this folk tales, we will read sequentially, one by one. Now the thing is, one I must tell, mm, there is a tradition. After ending each and every folk tale, there is a little poem, nonsensical poem, and which actually gives us a test that which reasons that with a very mere change we can have a very 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 big change. Everything is connected to everything, like the butterfly effect. So what was that ritualistic poem? Actually, Reverend Lal Bihari Dey, he has written it in a uh, very sophisticated English, which is right now is not in use. So I will try to read it. But first, I must apologize for my limited knowledge and limited pronunciation capacity to this old English, as well as the whatever I am going to say in the coming, whatever I'm trying to read, you will find very often that I am stumbling or stammering, because I'm not very much fluent in English, but I am trying. So please be with me. So let's start. Let's first know the ritualistic poem which we usually in Bengal we end with which we usually end our folk tales. Thus my story endeth. The thorn withered. Natia means note. Note is a shrub kind of vegetable plant which we usually eat by making some sabzi or curry. So let's proceed forward. I'm sorry. My phone got discharged, so I had to connect it with the charging port. So sorry for the interruption. Thus my story endeth. The Natia thorn withered. Why, O Natia thorn, dost wither? Why does thy cow on me browse? Why, O cow, dost thou browse? Why does thy knit hard not tend me? Why, O knit hard, dost not tend the cow? Why does thy daughter-in-law not give me rice? Why, O daughter-in-law, dost not give rice? Why does my child cry? Why, O child, dost thou cry? Why does the ant bite me? Why, O ant, dost thou bite? So what was the ant's answer? Kut, kut, kut. So these are the thing. The main aim, I think, the aim of these folk tales are to reconnect us, not reconnect, to connect us with the mere things of our life and the nature, which we don't know actually affect if we harm them, or if somehow they got altered, then our whole existence going to get altered by that. So this is a really very good way to connect us with nature, and that is the traditional knowledge which actually aimed for, so that we can nurture our nature with respect and with love. The same thing which with which she is actually nurturing us, our society, not only us, our whole society, and also the whole existence of our existence. So let's proceed. What is the first story? The first story is life's secret. So let's start. Okay, this is another beautiful illustration of a beautiful lady. And this is a kind of ghagra choli, I must say. It is not the Bengali traditional dress way of dressing, but okay. And this is a depiction of a sannyasi or a fakir, maybe. It seems like he's a sannyasi or the sadhu. So pilgrim, let's start to read this story. Today we are going to read 3 or 4 page. Okay, so let's start. Life's secret. There was a king who had two queens, Duo and Shuo. Kings in Bengali folktales have invariably two queens. The elder is called Duo, that is not loved, and the younger is called Shuo, that is loved. Now, let's proceed. So, both of them were childless. One day, a fakir or mendicant came to the palace gate to ask for alms. The Shuo queen went to the door with a handful of rice. The mendicant asked whether she had any children. On being answered in the negative, the holy mendicant refused to take alms, as the hands of a woman unblessed with child are regarded as ceremonially unclean at those days. He offered her a drug for removing her barrenness, and she expressed her willingness to receive it. He gave it to her with the following directions: take this nostrum, swallow it with the juice of the pomegranate flower. If you do this, you will have a son in due time. The son will be exceedingly handsome, and his complexion will be of the color of the pomegranate flower, and you shall call him Dalim Kumar. As enemies will try to take away the life of your son, I may as well tell you that the life of the boy will be bound up in the life of a big bowl or boal. This is the thing. A species of fish, a kind of fish which we are very fond of, a big boal fish which is in your tank in front of the palace. So he in the heart of the fish is a small box of wood. In the box is a necklace of gold. That necklace is the life of your son. Farewell. So this secret was shared by the fakir or the mendicant, and then he left. Now, here I must say what it means by dalim. Dalim is the colloquial synonym word which describes the pomegranate. So, let's proceed with our story. In the course of a month or so, it was whispered in the palace that the Shuo queen had hopes of an heir. Great was the joy of the king. Visions of an heir to the throne and of a never ending succession of powerful monarchs perpetuating his dynasty to the latest generations floated before his mind and made him glad as he had never been in his life. The usual ceremonies performed on such occasions were celebrated with great pomp, and the subjects made loud demonstrations of their joy at the anticipation of so auspicious an event as the birth of a prince. In the fullness of time, the Shuo queen gave birth to a son of uncommon beauty. When the king the first time saw the face of the infant, his heart leaped with joy. The ceremony of the child's first rise was celebrated with extraordinary pomp, and the whole kingdom was filled with gladness. In course of time, Dalim Kumar grew up a fine boy. Of all sports, he was most addicted to playing with pigeons. This brought him into frequent contact with his stepmother, the Duo Queen, into whose apartments Dalim's pigeons had a trick of always flying. The first time the pigeons flew into her rooms, she readily gave them up to the owner. But the second time, she gave them up with some reluctance. The fact is that the duo queen, perceiving that Dalim's pigeons had this happy knack of flying into her apartments, wished to take advantage of it for the furtherance of her own selfish views. She naturally hated the child as the king since his birth neglected her more than ever and idolized the fortunate mother of Dalim. Uh, Mother of Dalim. So she had heard the fortunate mother of so she had heard it is not known how that the holy mendicant that had given the famous peel to the show queen had also told her of a secret connected with the child's life. She had heard that the child's life was bound up with something. She did not know with what. She determined to extort that secret from the boy. Accordingly, the next time the pigeons flew into her rooms, she refused to give them up, addressing the child thus: I won't give the pigeons up unless you tell me one thing. What thing, Mamma? Nothing particular, my darling. I only want to know if I only want to know in what your life is. What is that, Mamma? Where can my life be except in me? No, child, that is not what I mean. A holy mendicant told your mother that your life is bound up with something. I wish to know what that thing is. I never heard of any such thing, Mamma. If you promise to inquire of your mother in what thing your life is, and if you tell me what your mother says, then I will let you have the pigeons, otherwise, not. Very well, I will inquire and let you know. Now, please give me my pigeons. I will give them on one condition more. Promise to me that you will not tell your mother that I want the information. I promise. The Duoquin let go the pigeons, and Dalim, overjoyed to find again his beloved birds, forgot every syllable of the conversation he had with his stepmother. The next day, however, the pigeons again flew into the Duoquin's rooms. Dalim went to his stepmother, who asked him for the required information. The boy promised to ask his mother that very day and begged hard for the release of the pigeons. The pigeons were at last delivered. After play, Dalim went to his mother and said, Mama, please tell me in what my life is contained. What do you mean, child? Asked the mother, astonished beyond measure at the child's extraordinary question. Yes, Mamma, rejoined the child. I have heard that a holy mendicant told you that my life is contained in something. Tell me what that thing is. My pet, my darling, my treasure, my golden moon. Do not ask such an inauspicious question. Let the mouth of any enemies be covered with ashes, and let my darling live forever, said the mother earnestly. But the child insisted on being informed of the secret. He said he would not eat or drink anything unless the information were given him. The Shrew Queen, pressed by the importunity of her son in an evil moment, in an evil hour, told the child the secret of his life. The next day, the pigeons again, as fate would have it, flew into the Duo Queen's rooms. Dalim went for them. The stepmother plied the boy with charged words and obtained the knowledge of the secret. The Duo Queen, on learning the secret of Dalim Kumar's life, lost no time in using it for the prosecution of her malicious design. She told her she told her maid servants to get for her some dried stalks of the hemp plant, which are very brittle and which, when pressed upon, make a peculiar noise not unlike the cracking of joints or bones in the human body. These hemp stalks she put under her bed, upon which she laid herself down and gave out that she was dangerously ill. The king thought, the king, though he did not love her so well as his other queen, was in duty bound to visit her in her illness. The queen pretended that her bones were all cracking, and sure enough, when she tossed from one side of her bed to the other, the hemp stalks made the noise wanted. The king, believing that the duo queen was seriously ill, ordered his best physician to attend her. With that physician, the duo queen was in collusion. In collusion, the physician said to the king that for the queen's complaint there was but one remedy, which consisted in the outward application of something to be found inside a large boal fish, which was in the tank before the palace. The king's fisherman was accordingly called and ordered to catch the boal in question. On the first throw of the net, the fish was caught. It so happened that Dalim Kumar, along with other boys, was playing not far from the tank. The moment the boilfish was caught in the net, that moment Dalim felt unwell, and when the fish was brought up to land, Dalim fell down on the ground and made as if he was about to breathe his last. He was immediately taken into his mother's room, and the king was astonished on hearing of the sudden illness of his son and heir. The fish was by the order of the physician taken into the room of the duo queen, and as it lay on the floor, striking its fins on the ground, Dalim in his mother's room was giving up for lost. When the fish was cut open, a casket was found in it, and in the casket lay a necklace of gold. The moment the necklace was worn by the queen, that very moment Dalim died in his mother's room. So, my friend, I am concluding this story here at right now. We will listen. We will come to know what happened next tomorrow. So, till then, be happy, be lively, and please be with me and with my channel. And I must request, please subscribe. And if you like my reading, if you like my endeavors, please like, comment, and share my video contents which I am trying to upload, which I am trying to prepare, and which I have already uploaded. So till then, tada.